Yeah. You know it? Free birds. Yeah. Going all the way, all the way. Watch how these pieces get moving like Hasbro. You know ain't no con in these rats, so I'm trying to be calm when it comes to the cash flow. You know talking till I die from the city we ride, no matter the outcome. You know when you out, watch your mouth in the jungle, a lot of them never escape from. Agent J when I bait some, 28 in my bag like I'm Freddie T. Agent K when I'm holding the city down, blocking all of the haters like Tony B. It's our year every year, if you quoting me, we gon' see on the field. They know the county, I scream it wherever I go. When I bleed, I just see black and teal. Feel like Brunel when the plays is in action. Every line that I flow always solid, that mean I ain't worried about pockets collapsing. He may go all the way, running the S's and O's, gotta love how it happens. You ain't part of the gang, I ain't gotta explain why we ain't got no room on the wagon. MIT is the Army, the Navy, the greatest is Jimmy and Keenan, the ultimate package. Ooh, never can care how you feel. You are now in the mix with the men and teal. Nothing but facts inside these conversations. Keep it 100, the law of the nation. With all the smoke, we can meet at the bait. You know the location. Executing the play when the ball cross the plane, that's the game. Hit my little celebration. Then all I can hear is them saying, yeah. Then all I can hear is them saying, yeah. All I can hear is them saying, ooh. You know it? Yeah. Free birds.
Welcome to the Minute Podcast. I am your host, the cannabis analyst, Agent J. And as always, rocking with my man, J to the I to the M-B. You're muted.
Oh. And
you are now in the mix with the men and teal.
That's
crazy. You are now in the mix with the men and teal.
Yes, sir. Bro, I like your beanie.
Appreciate it, man.
I like that. That's nice.
Like $3, bro. Like Dick's Sporting Goods, they're having a stupid ass sale. Maybe
okay.
Yeah, bro, going stupid.
Yeah, that's dope. Yo, welcome everybody. Yo, so glad that you guys can join us. Big Marcus in the building, Robert in the building. Shout out everybody in the chat. Shout out everybody just watching, hanging back. Shout out for people coming back on the X or the YouTube and watching us, man. Hey, we glad to be here. Like the title says, March Jag-Ness. Huh?
Shout out to the Facebookers.
Yes. Yo, and look, because y'all already know we keep it real, we keep it teal, man. We appreciate everybody's love and support. Go hit that like button, that subscribe, that follow, share it, get it out to other Jaguars fans, bro. But I'd like to give a special shout out, man, to a Michael Barber, bro. He went back and watched our pod last week, and he was all on the X, just asking questions and giving his opinion. And it was a good back and forth, bro. Listen, we'll talk to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like yo, if you want to talk about that, kid, what's up, Duval? Bro, y'all want to talk about Jags, bro? We love the Jags, bro. That's what we're here to do. You feel me? So, hey, man, hit us up. You feel me? Drop a comment on there. Drop a post. Drop a reply, or repost, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Pop your shit. Obviously, bro, be respectful. You feel me? Like, we gonna be respectful. But y'all want to talk about this? If you want to exchange ideas about the Jaguars, man, that's what we here to do. You feel me? So, man, but Big Marcus in the chat talking. He says, I'm so glad y'all on talking Jags football. The official Jaguars Nation was doing a bunch of good, god-awful coverage of the PGA Tour. Yeah, bro. Yeah, but they over there in TPC and they doing the players right now, so you already know what time it is. Plus, Jags news slow, unless you rock it with the best. Let's get into it, bro. Because stuff is happening.
MIT is the Army, the Navy, the greatest is Jimmy and Keenan, the ultimate package. Ooh.
Stuff is happening, y'all.
Hey, it's always happening, bro. It's never going to be a slow week. I mean, it can be a slow week, but we just got to do something. As long as we're doing something every week.
Right.
As long as we're doing something every week. Like, let's make some splashes. There's a whole bunch of shit going on. I don't know if that was real or not. Did you see the damn, I wish I had the poster pull up. That something about the Netflix doing a documentary on the Jaguars.
Nah, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. No, that's news to me.
Yeah, it's supposed to be covering like just like ups and downs and
Yeah.
getting the team and all the stuff like that.
Well, bro, we already talked like just the 17 season alone
Mm-hmm.
can get a 30 for 30.
Yeah.
Really, if we're being real, the Trevor 2021 rookie season with Herbs, that could get a 30, that could get a 30 for 30. Like,
Shit, the first 5 years of the
yeah,
franchise,
yep,
getting the team, building the team,
yeah.
success early, like
No, yeah, no, this franchise can there's a lot of things that you can do with this franchise in the history. Um, and I believe it would be entertaining to just not Jags fans, but to, people who actually appreciate football,
mm-hmm.
you know. Um, but hold on, bro, because we were talking about X a minute ago, and I got, bro. I got. Let me explain.
gullible,
So,
gullible Jimbo.
so I'm scrolling on the X. I'm liking stuff. I'm reposting. I'm posting comments and replies and stuff. And then I come across this, man. I'll pull up this dude's post. Delphonic, yo, this dude's fire. You guys go follow this guy. But Delphonic, so I come across this, says Gabe Davis looking fired up. And I see it's the 2025 season ticket, and I'm like, damn, they got the coach set and they got Gabe Davis on, on the promotion. On the, I was like, damn. So I'm trying to verify. So I go to the Jaguar website and I find something that kind of looks like this, but it's not quite the same as this, right? The color scheme was a little off. So I go back under there and I'm like, yo, I can't actually find this picture. But if this is real, yo, this regime may actually believe that Gabe Davis had a down year. It made me hopeful, right, that they would push him to the forefront. Come to find out, Buddy just made this. You got
Yeah,
my
bro. Little simple Photoshop.
Oh my God, bro! It gave me a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
Delphani, you gave me a little bit of hope, bro, and then you just snatched it away. Yo, but I thought that was funny, man. I wanted to share that because that was good. That's a good mock-up. I like that, man. So shout out to Delphonic for getting me, man. But look, I think this front office is getting us. Front office says, look, we're not done.
Yeah.
Job not finished.
Yeah. Hey,
Job finished.
John
Job's
not.
not finished. When it got another piece for the O line,
Mm-hmm.
big former Gator, Fred
Hey.
Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Y'all know if you've been watching us for a little bit, we Gator fans too. So shout out Fred Johnson.
Shout out to
Uh yeah, man. Basically coming in swing tackle,
mm-hmm.
more depth. Uh but he does have some good tape out there. If you haven't seen it, I mean you go on YouTube, you can go on X, um, Facebook groups, like everybody's showing tape of bro right now. Even against Josh Allen when we played him, when we played the Eagles. Uh You know, I think Josh Allen. I'm pretty sure Josh Allen got a sack that
Mm-hmm.
game. But Josh had to work for it though. But he was kind of giving Josh the business. So I mean, he was available all 17 games. He only started six. Like so that means like he officially started in those games. I'm sure at tackle, but the the good thing about him being a swing tackle, he can also kick in the guard. So that just gives us more depth in the interior too of the offensive line. Now, I also think that they may not be enamored with Foster either.
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
I
it's
think
kind of
that's
hard.
why they keep making these. And we want them to. We want them to. I
I
don't know
mean,
what Javon Foster is.
I don't think they know what he is.
Right.
He didn't play last year, so I mean, you know what I'm saying. So you don't know if they're sold or not because he could be one of your guards moving forward. But just like Robert said, that's exactly what I was about to say. We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out who's a dog or not because they're bringing in people with starting histories, with starting resume. Like not necessarily a starter, but these guys have experience in the league. They're not bringing in second year, third year players. They're bringing in veterans on O-line.
Right.
So those young boys, hey, you better figure out these concepts because these older guys are gonna figure out the concepts. They're gonna get the peak. They're gonna get the playing time.
Yeah.
So
And they're still and I still believe they're going to draft one or two more in the draft. Like I really do. Now I will say this. I also think that all these offensive line moves are indicative of that in the draft that they're either going to focus on the D line in the draft, which is your Mason Graham, or the opposite of what I said about Javon Foster with Mason Smith and Jordan Jefferson, that they think that they actually do have good young depth at the D tackle position. I'm
yeah,
sure they're going to get an edge because we do need more edge help, right? Um, but right now you got Eric Armstead under contract. You still have D Ham under contract, right? Two heavy contracts that at this time it doesn't look like they're going to move off of. There has been rumors that Eric Armstead is going to restructure. I don't think that possibility is out the window. But I also think just to counter that, right? I also think that well, what's Eric Armstead incentive in doing that? Like, yeah, he gets more money up front, but ultimately he'll lose money, right? Like because they can't cut him.
mm-hmm.
If they cut, that then you're just throwing money away, right? So I kind of don't see why Eric would do that. I mean, other than well, I want to be a team player, and if doing this is going to help the team win, but I didn't see him do that last year. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to complain about that shit. Like it's if 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 you know where you can be the most effective at, I just feel like a really good player is going to say, "Look, I'm not going to play right there.
Mm-hmm.
You need to put me in here. You need to put me inside. Put me at defensive tackle, and let me be on the field with them boys. Stop making me take them boys off the field when I go out there, right?" Um, so I don't know. I don't know if he is a Walter Payton Man of the Year. So there is some selflessness in him, right? But I think when it comes to the actual game of football, I don't think he's selfless enough to do something like that. I don't know the man. I'm not trying to bash his character. I'm just basing a football decision based off of football I saw him play. That's the only place I'm correlating this with.
Shit, they might have just gave him to Walter Payton just the man of the year because he was like, hey, they're like, hey, we know what you have to deal with Ryan Nielsen. He keeps making you do a whole bunch of dumbass shit, and you just being real selfless, man. You just going out there doing what they ask, man. We see it every week. If nobody else sees it, we see it.
Yeah,
Boy got an award for it, man.
I guess. I guess. But I am curious. Like, what do you think? with them just strictly, if as far as the trenches go, only making free agency moves on the offensive line, and they haven't done anything on the defensive line.
I mean,
And
we talked about it
now it's
last week.
not over.
We
It's
talked
not
about
over.
it. I know, but we talked about it last week. Defense.
Right.
We're gonna be defense round after round, bro. That's what my draft should be, bro. Just defense round after fucking round. Cause guess what? Especially talking about trenches, we have a chance to either go trenches at 5 or go like finesse skill at 5 and still go trenches, second round pick, third. Like there's a lot that can happen. So
right.
I mean, I just think we're gonna go defense in the draft.
So okay, so let me ask you this real quick, because now there's talk about maybe Abdul Carter falling to 5. If two quarterbacks go off first.
But see, the only reason I don't like that is because where the fuck is he gonna play at?
Right. Now they are saying they are comping him to Michael Parsons. So I mean, technically you can have him as a stand-up linebacker, but I mean, I don't know, whose place is he taking? Devin? I mean, Devin's a pure linebacker,
yeah,
and he's really an edge guy. I don't know.
He's an edge guy. Like I understand that, but he's not no linebacker. Like he's a linebacker in the sense of whatever defense they're running.
Yeah, like a 3-4. Yeah.
Yeah, they run a 3-4 at Penn State. We don't run a 3-4. Or I don't know what the fuck our base defense is.
Yeah, none of us do. Only Anthony Cavanelli knows, and he hasn't revealed. Which is surprising, like, because usually I didn't think about it at the time, but in the pressers they ask, like, like what kind of defense is this going to be, as far as like the scheme goes, and I don't remember them asking that question, and I have no knowledge of if he's ever said what kind of defense we're running.
He said that he wants to be versatile. Like if I can, I think he
used a bunch of football adjectives.
Yeah, he didn't answer.
Yeah.
He danced around that motherfucker like Michael Jackson.
Right. So I was just interested. I just found that interesting that all of the money moves that they're making right now has to do, and not all of them, just the ones that dealing with the trenches are on the offensive side of the ball. I love it because you're really showing me, hey, you're trying to build that wall. In that what Liam Cohen said? You got to build that wall for Trevor. James Gladstone might have said it, or the bowl. One of them said wall, one of them said bowl. But just basically just protect Trevor. Like that's what this team should have been doing the whole time. Yo, JTC in the house. And I saw Devin earlier too. What up?
Tribal Chief.
Yes, sir.
The bloodline.
Bruh. Hey, they need to put this man out there with the commish, bro.
And they got me watching. They got me watching wrestling every once in a while now, bro.
Oh yeah, ever since the John Cena.
I mean, I was watching that live when it happened. I was in this bit going crazy. I said, he looked out. He gave him that look. I said, I said, bro, this shit remind me of when Hogan motherfucking turned heel, dude. I said, when Hulk Hogan went motherfucking NWO.
Yeah.
With the spazzing in the ring, spray painting Lex Luger, all them. Bro, I watched that shit. I said, they trying to bring back the feeling, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was going crazy.
Yeah, I'm not getting sucked into it, dog. I'm not doing it.
No, it's good. It's good to watch some of that stuff, bro. It's definitely good to watch some of that stuff, bro. The Rock is going. Bro, the Rock is back. no more Vince McMahon. So like the problematic shit, like it's not the Attitude Era, so you're never gonna get that
Right.
ever again. But it's actually some good. It's actually some good
You'd
wrestling
be
going on.
canceled.
Yeah.
If you went back to the Attitude Era, you'd be canceled, bro.
Oh, it was so good, bro. It was so like it was just the night, bro. That's how you tell me once, bro. Like people look back at it, it was some shit going on in the '90s, but like entertainment
Yeah.
wise, might
Nah.
be the
Top
best
tier.
decade, bro. Might be the best
Top
decade
tier, yeah.
because it just
Now, I will go back and watch highlights.
yeah.
I will admit that. I do go back and watch highlights of like old wrestling matches or like, just promos that people were doing. Um, but yeah, I don't know, bro. It's just changed. I've been out of it too long.
Yeah, me
So
too. That's what I said. I'm not
yeah,
deep diving in, but I'm making sure I'm watching the pay per view, like the shit that's like when they do the Netflix shit. I'll check
yeah.
out on certain shit, certain events, but I gotta pop back in every once in a while. I'm not gonna get deep into it, but I'm gonna pop back in. I'll pop my head back. I've been popping my head back in a lot recently. So
Gotcha. So speaking of the O line, because like we said, the Fred Johnson pickup, another interesting thing comes out, right? Shout out to my man Travis D. Holmes.
yes,
Yes, bro. Check out what my man says, dog. Where's it at? Where's it at? After Now this is just after the Robert Hainsey and the Patrick McCarry
mm,
sign-ins. Look at the interior of this line. It's the fourth starting center in 5 years, the fourth starting left guard in 5 years, third starting right guard in 5 years, and just your offense coordinator and the head coach, he's on his third already. And not to mention the carousel that is Cam Robinson and Walker Little at the tackle spots, whether it's injury or suspension. Like I said on the X, it's crazy. It's like we knew that already. Like we knew that there was hardly any continuity on this offensive line, right? But to see it, to like read it right now, bro, I was sick. I was sick. I, I don't know. That is wild, bro. Like no wonder Doug Peterson was just like, yo, they just need to stay on the field together. We just need to string some games together.
yeah, man.
He's like, these motherfuckers have only played with each other like, I don't know, 3 times.
No.
It's crazy, bro. So shout out Travis, man, for putting that out there. But damn, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, bro, what is this team? I, I know what this team is trying to do now. But and I know that we've like said this before in the past, but bro, what the fuck is this team? Like, what is this team doing? What was this team doing?
Hey, bro. Like I said, it's not. It hasn't been good, bro. And it hasn't even been like okay. Like it's been bad.
Yeah,
That's why, like I said, bro, I hold Trevor accountable for what I can hold Trevor accountable for.
right.
But at the same time, I understand that there may be factors to why the play hasn't been top tier. But I
Right.
mean, shit, they just it ain't shit around. It like the line is bad, bro. The line's been bad. The line's always been bad. It's been bad for years. Fuck. Since he's been there, the line's been bad for a long time, and
Yeah.
they haven't done nothing to address it. They'll bring in old player, like they're bringing like guys like at least the free agents they signed are what they're all like at least under 10 years. Like they'll bring in a Mitch Moore. He's motherfucker retired.
Yeah.
Like
Well, can I just want to make one correction. Because I totally agree with everything you say, but I don't want to say that they haven't tried to fix the line because they have, like, they've invested draft capital in the line. But the problem is that your picks are the line picks have been horrible. You know, like really outside of, I think Cam Robertson was fine in his rookie year, but his rookie year was I believe, the only season he's played a full year for us. One,
Yeah.
being healthy, either being healthy and not being suspended, right? Year two, he got hurt. What, week two against the Giants?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. Week two was against the Patriots. Week one was against the Giants. We beat the Giants week one. He gets hurt. So he gets hurt week one. We go out, play the Patriots, win, and then we shit the bed the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was our playoff and Super Bowl, was week two, being the Patriots. But but you invest draft capital in a guy like Luke Fortner
Mm-hmm.
at center. Fuck was that?
Trash.
And isn't this other guy's name Luke Jokel? So message. So
No Lukes.
no Lukes, bro. No Lukes on his offensive line.
No Lukes in general. Luke Barku. Like,
Nah, because I like Luke Farrell. I mean, he's no longer on the team, but I do like Luke Farrell as a football player.
Yeah, but they, like I said, they've somewhat tried, but they didn't because they invest. I mean, I don't know. You got to. I mean, yeah, like you say, bro, you got to draft and develop guys. But that's, like I said, that's on scouts, bro. That's because they don't listen to me, bro. They're not going. They want to go get motherfuckers from South Carolina. They want to try to get all these SEC linemen. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Like, they're cool in the run, but like, I need pass protectors.
Right.
Take your ass to the middle of the fucking country, Iowa, Nebraska, wherever, Dakota, any of the Dakotas. Go and get one of them, bruh. I need to see a rebel flag. I walk past the players' parking lot all the time. There's no trucks with rebel flags. What are we doing? I need somebody with a little bit of anger in them, bro. Like just an innate taught hate. Just to say, you know what, this guy, I don't like him, and I can just go, bro. But we don't have that, bro. Everybody's just like, oh, we just want to be regular competitive. Like, no, have some hate in your heart. Protect the blonde savior.
Yeah, bro. You got to protect the franchise.
Treat it like King Kong in the Empire State Building. You better not let him get that white woman.
Yo, that's crazy. Is he holding Trevor? Bro, you're wrong. Oh, shit.
You better not let him get him. Hey,
Mike, what are you talking about, bro? Dang, what? What are you talking about? Yo, Robert says Anton better step up. Eagles tackle. Talking about Fred Johnson. We'll snatch that shit. Yeah. I think he can. Now, I know this isn't part of the show, but I will say that I was disappointed in Anton, especially in the beginning of the season, and then like towards the middle, I was like, okay, I'm fine, and then he kind of like plateaued in my mind. He plateaued to where it was like he's not playing horrible, but he still wasn't playing good. Did you get that impression?
I mean, like I said, as long as I don't hear people saying your name, I feel like we can. I feel like it's fine. I feel like the play is fine. I have to watch you get dominated and be like, God damn. Like, I didn't see that, but also didn't watch like all the tape this year.
Right.
but I didn't really see him get like super manhandled. There was times where he didn't look dominant. You know what I'm saying? Like it just looked like he was just kind of going through the motions and still like. And I understand, bro. Shit was they sucked, bro. They were playing like shit. So
yeah.
So I can understand a little bit just other going through the motions, but I mean, he protected enough. Like I said, he protected enough for Mac Jones to be able to do what Mac Jones was doing down that stretch, that back stretch of the season. Like it's tough, bro. Because like I said, if they could go out there and if the offense could kind of move similar to like that, like to me, even though we didn't win no games or we didn't really win the games that we wanted down the stretch, when Matt came in and they actually played pretty decent football, he was just doing Mac Jones shit.
Right.
So Trevor just has to do Trevor things, like the good Trevor things.
Okay. Well, since you mentioned that, last week we talked. Yes, can't do that, Trevor. Go to the check marks, not the X. I hope you remember what happened when you go to the X. But
interception.
But talking about that, bro, last week we were talking about being critical on Trevor. But I'm thinking about it, and I just want to ask you, do you think that Trevor elevates the talent around him outside of Gabe Davis last year? Like the since Trevor has been on the team, the main targets that he plays with, do you think that, or he played with, do you think that he elevated them? Like they got better just by playing with Trevor Lawrence?
Yes and no. And I'm gonna say no because now there's gonna be numbers to show that okay, guys had some of their best years, like career years here. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like I don't think it's Trevor's fault. I just think he was handcuffed to an outdated offense. So we talked about it before. Doug Peterson offense was all predicated around like even distribution.
You're right.
You know how I feel, bro. If you're really good at something, spam that shit.
Right.
The coaches ain't spamming it. Like you know what he's good at, you're not spamming it.
Right.
Y'all spamming bubble screens.
And out routes.
Yeah, like no, bro. Let's get the ball down the field. So right. and let's feed the hot hand. Not, like I said, that shit's cute when everybody has 600 yards and 60 catches or whatever. Yeah, that's right. Cool.
Well, I just want to interject this. A counter argument could be made to that. Well, how can he push the ball down the field when we just said that the offensive line has been just bad?
Yeah, but I think a lot of that just has to do with scheme too. Like, there's injuries. There's injuries along everywhere, but
till Taliban, I can tell you right now that's not true. You got to think about every receiver he had.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, but no, like I said, I think Trevor has the ability to read to when he's working with these guys one-on-one. I think he knows what he would like to do, and that's part of the reasons why I don't feel like he's a superstar yet, and it has nothing to do with the stats. The superstar thing is taking the shit into your own hands, not relying.
And then you were going to say that. That's why I put this up here.
Not relying on what coach says. Yes, I have to think about what coach, because the play or whatever, I got to think about the mindset that coach is in. But at the same time, coach is on the sideline.
Right.
As much input as he wants, as much input as he is trying to put in, the coach is on the sideline.
Right.
I'm out here on the field with my guys. Sometimes I gotta call my A. We're not doing that. And the thing is, he should. Doug Peterson is the kind of coach that I feel like you can try that shit on, and it'll be okay. And he wasn't doing it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he might, like Doug might not. He might say, "Hey, we don't need to go off script," but if you do it, like, what the fuck is Doug Peterson gonna do?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're the franchise. I'm not saying you gotta, put your meat on the table, but goddamn, but sometimes you just gotta whip out real quick.
Yeah. 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 We said last week, like we just want to see Trevor will us some wins, right? We want to see him go off script. We want to see him call his own number, say he hears some dumbass shit. Man, I'm not doing that. Wave that shit. I'm not doing that. What are you talking about? Be like your idol, Peyton Manning. Like that's what we're asking. Like put action to your words, right? When you say, "Hey, I know I have to give what the defense or take what the defense gives me." Let me see you take what the defense gives you.
Yeah.
Like let me see you do that. Like let me see you make the layups consistently. Because when we end up doing that, then when the supporting cast, when the other failures start popping up, at least we can turn and say, "Yo, it's not Trev," right? But I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, right? I actually have the stats of his primary receivers since he came to the team. So I'm going to start with LaVisca. He was with Trev for one season, one touchdown, 100 targets, 63 receptions, 619 yards. I'm sorry, 0 touchdowns. He had one fumble and one fumble loss. So his production went down Trevor's first year, right? DJ Chark, we all know what happened to him. He got hurt in the Cincinnati game, Trevor's rookie year. So that was nothing, right? But then Herbs is gone. Um, Now you did have Marvin Jones on the team, right? So Marvin Jones gets on the team. Uh, Marvin Jones' best year was 2017 with Detroit. He had 1,101 yards, averaged 18 yards a catch, and he had 9 touchdowns. 18 he had 508 and 5 touchdowns. 19 he had 779 and 9. 20 he had 783, 978 and 9. Then he comes to Jacksonville and 832 with 4 touchdowns, 46 and 46. I'm sorry, 529 and 3 touchdowns in the 22 season. So his production, his production went down his second season with Trevor, but his possessions were more meaningful in that 2022 season, right? Zay Jones. I mean, Zay Jones has been middling. His best season as a NFL player was the 2022 season with Trevor. 823 yards, 5 tutties. And Christian Kirk, by far best season was with the Jacksonville Jaguars, again with the Zay Jones, Marvin Jones, 1,108 yards with 8 touchdowns. He was actually on pace for another 1,000 yards in 2023 before he got hurt in the Bengals game. He had 787 yards and 3 touchdowns. Evan Ingram. Now, Evan was a beast his rookie year. 722 yards, 6 touchdowns with the Giants. In 2022, he kind of fell off, but we also know that Evan was hurt a lot when he was with the Giants, right? 2022 gets a fresh start. He's got 98 targets, 73 receptions, 766 yards, 4 tutties. And then he follows it up the very next year with 114 receptions off of 143 targets, 963 yards, and another 4 touchdowns. So he clearly elevated when he came here. Christian Kirk clearly elevated when he came here. Zay Jones clearly elevated when he came here. I think BTJ was already a dog, and they just didn't utilize him soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
And Gabe Davis didn't have a good year. So I would have to agree with you that it's a yes and a no. I think that he did elevate those players, but I also think that like what this team is doing now, the floor was so non-existent with the DJ Charks and the Laviscus Chenault that anybody that could be a little bit competent would raise with Trevor as their as their quarterback. I don't know, bro. There's a lot of factors to that. I just want to say yes. I really do, because before I read all the stats, my answer in my head was already yes. Like, of course, man. Trevor elevates everybody that's on the field, right? He's the only quarterback. He's the only quarterback in the league that if he's like under 90, it's either 85 or 90 or something like that. QBR, or quarterback rating, that his team loses. Like, this team is so quarterback dependent in order to win, right? And that's weird. That's a really weird stat to have. So yes, I do think he elevates, but I also think that he needs to learn. I don't know, maybe go back to that Clemson mindset, because he had so much talent. He had so much talent at Clemson that it was like they were just better. They were just better than everybody, right?
Yeah. I mean, and he had a really good. He had the best offensive line that you can, one of the best offensive lines. That's what you have to put around him to. That's what you have to put around really any quarterback to be successful. So, like I said, we put a lot on him, but yeah, we know what some of those reasons are, and either they're going to get it right and get it right around him, or he's going to have to be Superman. But he can't be in between.
Yeah, and I think that's how we really view him. Because when we say he's the savior, like, we really mean that. Like, we really mean that. Until he's not. Until it's like clear that he's not the savior. But I just think that it used to be, and I still kind of believe this, but it used to be, if this team could just have a dominant defense, we can win.
Yeah.
But with the type of league that it is now, you have to have a competent offense that can score. Like, you just have to. And I believe that Trevor Lawrence, being the best quarterback that this franchise has ever had, right? I think he can be that guy. But I need him to start, like, now that you have talent, now that you have the BTJs, right? Now that you have that kind of talent, like, I need you to be like Joe. When Joe, the difference is that you didn't go get BTJ. Joe went and got Jamar Chase. He told the Bengals, he's like, hey, look, draft him, and we can win. And that's what happened, right? Well, look, you didn't have to. You didn't have to. For all of Trent Baalke's faults, he got you this guy, right? Now, this regime, in my opinion, has taken all of the distractions. Out of the like, notice that they didn't re-sign any of our free agents. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
This front office didn't re-sign any of our free agents, right? They got all the distractions out of the building. Oh, that's your best friend? That's cool. Uh, Coach Cohen. Oh man, you know Spencer Whipple? Yeah, trade.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like Evan. Evans part of the trade. Release. Josh Reynolds, you was just a casualty. Devin Duvernay, you know, I don't know why they replaced you with I don't know why they replaced Agnew with you. Get out of here. Like you feel me? And the list goes on and on. Like there look, Trevor, we need you to focus. We need you to focus on get the ball to that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That guy. Because we're gonna go as you go, right? But you need to go through him. And then we're going to block a little better for you. We're going to beef up this offensive line, and we're going to run the ball better.
Yeah.
Like, I really think that this regime is keeping its word because I believe that they think, like I think, that look, the only way we can win is if this guy stays healthy and if we can keep him up and if we can take advantage of what our skill players do best. And I think that they've shown that to date right now. And they're not done. That's the beauty part. Like that's the beautiful part of it. Like they're not done yet. We still have the draft. They're still bringing in people in free agency.
Yeah.
You know, there's a chance they still might make some kind of splash. Agent J has been traded to the Texans for draft compensation.
Look, nah, hey, I'm not JP Shadrick.
JP Shadrick to the Titans to be their play-by-play. I don't know if that actually happened yet, but I saw that he was like a finalist for that to happen. But okay, so let me ask you this. Speaking about building a wall around Trevor, so
Oh,
what do
shit,
you think?
I was about to say, whoa, this is not that kind of podcast, brother.
What are you talking about?
Speaking of building a wall,
Oh,
build that wall. Like I know this is on Twitter, so you know what I'm saying Elon gonna fuck with it.
oh my God! I got released. No wonder my code to the building doesn't work anymore.
Damn.
That's crazy. But okay, so let me ask you this, bro. Because they're making such an emphasis on the O line right now,
Mhm.
they brought in Build the Wall. Hey, he ain't got enough hate in his heart though, bro.
Yeah, bro.
He ain't got enough hate. He couldn't be on your offensive line because he ain't got enough hate.
Nah, he can find it. I'm pretty sure something is in there. He can go back to when he was like 12 or 13. He gonna find some hate.
Remember what Jason did to you, bro? The betrayal.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
Put
Such a
everything
shame.
put everything into it.
but but you know they brought in the two tight ends, right? Obviously they want to go. They went the direction of Brent Strange, him being such a versatile blocking tight end,
I'm
right?
talking about it, bro. The replacements are already in the building.
Yeah,
It's almost essentially carbon copies, especially like Parker Washington. Like, bro, we can bring in another receiver, and Parker Washington. Unless somebody goes out there and says, "Hey, I can run routes better than this guy, then I can do all these things." He deserves a shot to be our slot receiver. Like, he's gonna get in and out of them breaks. The boy played well last year. I think his inexperience got Trevor hurt the year before,
yeah.
but last year he played really. I thought he played really well.
Yeah, I mean, he played well for what the situation was.
I mean, yeah, it was all shitty.
Yeah, so in comparison with how everything else was going, yes, I think he played pretty well.
Then he had a kick
Um,
return too, right?
yeah, he had a kick return. Had a kick return. But to move him into that place, which I don't know if you want to do that because, you're gonna probably want to put BTJ in the slot a lot. He actually BTJ played like I don't like a I don't know. I can't remember what the stat number was, but it was a high. I almost want to say 80% of his snaps came from the slot. And I don't saying it out loud, that doesn't sound right to me, but it was a pretty high number that
Yeah, which is understandable because I mean we were just moving, but also because the back end
and he
of the
got six
season,
of his touchdowns. He got
the
six of
back
the
end,
10 touchdowns from the
the,
slot.
the back end of the season, they started giving him the ball. They started moving him around, doing all the shit that they should have been doing in the first half of the season.
Right.
You saw him in motion all the day. Second half of the season, you saw it. Well, look, last 5 games, 6, 7 games,
Mhm.
they were moving him around, getting him in motion. They were doing a whole bunch of shit.
Right.
All the shit they should
Yeah.
have been doing week 1.
Yeah. Yeah. And we beat that to death.
Yeah.
I think everybody that watches, like even that Titans fan that was just in here first, shout out to him, I guess.
No, I
Uh,
didn't really see it.
yeah, he was you missed it. He was eating a big old thing of mayonnaise, bro.
Oh,
It's
okay.
quite disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was so, and like we shouldn't have had to wait for all those guys to go down. Or like you saw it in the very first game,
Yeah.
in the very first half of the very first game, you threw the ball to him. I guess technically 5 times, but it didn't count because of the PI,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you threw the ball to him 4 times. That counted. He caught the ball 4 times, and he scored a nasty touchdown on Jalen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like one of the premier corners in the league couldn't keep up with Jit.
Mm-hmm.
Like right then and there, you should have told yourself, "Oh, he's him. He's him."
Yeah. Didn't spam it. They
Now,
did.
now, according to Liam Cohen, if Liam Cohen's plan was okay, so we go get the ball to Gabe and we're gonna get it to Kirk and we're gonna do that. Oh wait, damn, he just what are you doing that boy? And that hey, all right, y'all, change the plan. Throw the ball to BTJ. Like that's what Cohen would have did, bro. He saw he said he had a totally different plan, and players have came out and said this too. In Tampa, he had a totally different plan when it came to the run scheme that they had,
Yeah.
and he saw that their traps and their counters, that shit was working, and that's what he went to. He was like, okay, we're not even gonna do that other shit no more. We're gonna do this. This is what we're gonna focus on.
It doesn't make sense to do those plays. Don't work.
Right. We don't do it well enough. We don't
Yeah.
execute it well enough. So let's do the plays that we can thrive in, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I was going to ask you, do you think that this regime went back and watched tape with the moves that they're making and they're like, yo, 12 personnel is the best package for Trevor Lawrence to thrive. That 2 tight end set, bunch tight.
I mean, whatever it is, I'm assuming and I'm hoping that they did that. Regardless of what the personnel is, like I'm not 100% sure they're going to say, "Hey, 12 personnel," because even if my philosophy isn't that, like we can work it in, but like I said, I want you to be successful, but I got my shit that I know is going to work, so I need you to be really good at this too.
Right.
So like I said, I don't know exactly what they think he was the best at, but I'm assuming they went through it with a fine tooth comb and breaking down all. Like I said, these are all the These are all the good things that we know you could do because you've done them a lot. But
Right.
in our offense, it's a little bit different. So we'll just create some shit that's somewhat similar to it, but with all our own shit.
And now you would hope and think that Trevor's sitting down there, sitting in the room with him, saying like, yeah, this is what I really like. We got good protection out of this. And I would also think the hurry up. Now again, this is my I don't have the numbers for this, so this is just me talking as a fan who watched and my perception of the games, right? My perception was that this team was really good when they were in hurry up and when they were in their jumbo or 12 personnel packages.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of times they were forced, like one game when Gabe and everybody went down, they were forced to be in 12 package, but that was the best they looked all game.
Yeah.
That was the best they looked, and they just went down the field. Just went down the field, bro. And again, going back to it, this team is going to go as Trevor goes, right? Build that Great Wall of Duval till Taliban. Build it. Build that shit, bro. And I love it. I love it, bro. They talked about, speaking of building, I don't know if you saw it, but they had a news story on the other day about the construction that's going on around the stadium. Like they've already like taken down the escalators. Like construction at the stadium is happening and around downtown,
Yeah,
right?
They're working.
And it feels like the city, the team. I'm sorry, it feels like the team is mirroring the city, and the city is mirroring the team. Where look, we're going to tear it down some just to build it back up, to build for the future. That I think that all of us as Jaguar fans should be very excited for, right? I know it's the off season. This is the time to be optimistic. This is the time to be hopeful, right? But and look, like in our thing, like in the intro song, if you ask me, every year is our year.
Mm-hmm.
Every year is our year. But I really, really feel like just everything that they're showing me, it just makes sense. And they're putting actions. I'm sorry, they're putting action to their words.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been consistent since they walked in the building. They have been consistent and they haven't wavered from anything that they've said that they were going to or how they're going to do it. So I have to believe that this, now I'm not saying that we're going to come out and we're just always in 12 personnel, but I do think that look, if we come out and we're running those two tight end sets, which here's a crazy shocker, something that Doug Peterson was good at when he was at Philly, he just didn't want to do here. He didn't want to do here, just like after the first year, he didn't want to run crossers anymore.
Say fuck it.
Fuck it. Mike McCoy left. Fuck it. He was a crosser guy. What do I know about crossers? I'm not running no crossers.
Where's the ice cream?
Where's the ice cream? Vanilla guy. Give me a water bottle so I can do weird stuff with my tongue.
Yeah, weird. Yeah.
What do you got going on, Dougie? Robert says,
freak your ass. Need to stay the ass aside.
Top 10 teams are in the bottom 10 in free agency. Draft the starters and free agency for depth. Yeah. Unless it can't, obviously picking up a can't miss player sometimes in free agency. I mean, the Rams did it until they got a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They went the opposite of that. They said, fuck that. Fuck this draft. I'm going to get the proven guys that I already know can do it, and they can do it at a high level. And if I put enough of them on my team, then that high level is going to take us over the top and win us a ship. And that's exactly what it did. And look, now we have somebody from the Rams organization in the building. Two, technically, because Liam was there too. But I don't think they're going to do that, though. I don't think that's the approach. I think they're going to do the approach that you're saying. But The Rams actually went opposite of that. Devin says he needs to read defenses better, throws into double coverage too much. Okay, so Devin, I agree with you, but I disagree with you because we say that Trevor has this thing called arm arrogance, and I love it.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I never want him to stop because I have seen, just like you say he throws in the double coverage, I've seen him throw it between three people and get to his receiver because in his mind, I'm Trevor effing Lawrence and I can just do that.
And all,
Right.
and all the best quarterbacks do it.
Yeah. And
Like,
all the best quarterbacks do it.
and guess what? This is the NFL. Guess what? It's probably gonna be double coverage. That's why Jamar Chase is about to make $60 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? You don't think Jamar Chase is in double coverage? They're not single covering Jamar Chase.
Mm-mm.
So if he's in double coverage, somebody got to throw him the ball. There's only one person throwing him the ball.
They might even have on some defenses, they probably clouded him too. So he's got one underneath, like one center field with him, and if he goes over the top, he's got help.
Yeah, bracket. They go bracket the fuck out of there. It don't matter. It don't matter. You go get it. Quarterback put the ball in the right spot. Receiver, be exactly where you're supposed to be. You have to understand that, yes, we've seen this coverage in the tape. You have to understand that now because, yes, the plan may have been for you to do something here, but now that this coverage has changed a little bit, same idea, but you need to know that, hey, now I need you to run whatever. Like, I don't know what your counter is, but you're supposed to know. When I give you that signal, you're supposed to understand. I remember, bro, Calvin Ridley, we would call audibles, and they would throw an interception right after that because he ran the wrong fucking route.
Right.
I'm not gonna put that on the quarterback. I'm gonna put it on the guy who's been out of football.
Right.
It was arrogant enough to say that there was no rust.
And he was gonna have 1,400 yards.
Yeah. So guys got to run the right route. Like, there has to be better coaching all around. Like, everybody has to be on the same page. We can't be talking about the pages that they're on. There are two different pages. Talk about that for a whole year, 1 year.
Yeah. And the other thing we can't do is we can't keep saying, oh, we got to go to London. We got to get away. Week 4? Yeah. Week 4? Week 5, you got to get away? No, bro. Like, there has to be continuity on all levels, on all phases, right? But it starts with it. Technically, it starts with the trenches, but again, this team is going to win or lose by the numbers, because of Trevor Lawrence. And I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is losing those games. There's probably, I don't know, a handful, like count on one hand's worth of fingers that I can say Trevor lost us that game.
Yeah.
Right? Because look, I don't blame Trevor when Trevor drives us down the field and scores and there's 2 minutes left on the clock or 3 minutes or 4 minutes left on the clock and all the defense got to do is stop somebody because I'm here to tell you our defense is allowed to stop people.
Yeah, that is part of the game. That's what they do.
That is part of the game too, right? So all the defense has to do is stop somebody and then they fuck around and let a bitch score and get the lead back. And then Trevor's got, a minute 14, minute 43, right? To have to go back out there and do it again. Now, do I expect him to go out there and do it again? You better believe I do. But if shit goes left, I'm not blaming Trevor. I'm not blaming Trevor in that situation because Trevor did what he was supposed to do already, where he got you the lead. Now, as a team, go out there and hold on to it, right? And your counterpart on defense couldn't do that. So no, I blame the defense. I blame the defense for that shit, right? But when we need you, defense gets you to stop. And Trevor, okay, we need you to go down here and win. And and
Buddy, bro,
you throw in a triple coverage.
Bro, that Houston game 2 years, that Kansas City Chiefs to Houston Texans back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Them 2 games right there, bro.
That Houston game was bad. Buddy ran back the kick. That shit was bad.
We forced turnovers in both of those games, and we didn't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's the other thing this offense has to do better. Now, I'm talking about the offense.
Stay on the field.
Stay on the field, and when the defense does get you a turnover, you got to get points off of that shit.
Yeah.
You got to get points off of that. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Hopefully, a long, sustained drive. Like, I don't mind going fast, but like off a turnover, if we're not going to go, I think we need to go try to take a shot first play down the field. Just try to go big shot, and then if it don't go, let's take some clock. Let's take some time off the clock. Like just do something. I don't know. Just do something, bro. But
yeah.
Can't be having turnovers and then, like I said, punting the ball away.
Yeah, no, I think that's the biggest thing. Because let's be real, like we did not score enough. Like we didn't get a lot of turnovers, but when we didn't score enough off of them shits.
Nope.
Right? We didn't score enough, and look, when the defense gets you a 3 and out. I think that goes even more to your point, bro. Like, okay, if you're not going to score, you at least need to take some time off this clock. This defense gets you a 3 and out, and then you go out there and you go 3 and out.
Yeah.
And put the defense right back on there, bro. Like we can't do that shit. We can't. Again, his supporting cast has to play better. Yes, they have to catch the ball. Yes, they need to hold on to the ball once they get the ball. Yes, the offensive line needs to block. Yes, his running backs need to be able to hit holes and go. Like, yes, all that stuff is true. But again, for Trevor himself, just do your little things correctly. And it just seems like if you do that, then this team is going to win games. At least this team is going to win more games because again, when you're successful, this team is successful.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying like you can't have a game like Joe Burrow and throw 5 touchdowns and y'all still lose. That's a team loss,
mm-hmm.
right? But nobody blames Joe Burrow for losing that game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's like, man, Joe just should have played better. Like, nobody's blaming Joe. Joe threw 5 fucking touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, what are we really talking about? Right? And I hate that I even have to go back to this, but go back to the 2022 playoff game. If we would have lost that game to the Chargers,
mm-hmm.
Oh my God. The hate, like Trevor is already kind of hated unnecessarily by some of the fan base. But no, you know how real that hate would be? The fact that he threw 4 touchdowns in that game is amazing and great because the other thing that I will say about Trevor is not known for having like that many more than 2 touchdown type games.
Mm-hmm.
I think in his rookie year, he had a couple games where he had like 3 touchdowns. But Trevor's not known to have a bunch of like 3 touchdown games, 4 touchdown games. Just balling out of control type games.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he was able to throw those 4 in that playoff game was fire. But the fact that you had to throw the 4 because you threw 4 picks, and mind you, if the defense allows them to score anything but that 1 field goal, we never win that game.
Nope.
So again, this is an example of why this would have been on Trevor, because whether 2 of those, I'll say 2 of those picks, whether those are your fault or not. The fact is, you threw 4 picks, bro.
Yep.
and the defense kept going out there and doing their job, doing that thing I was telling you about, stopping the opposing team's offense, because they are allowed to do that,
Yeah, they are.
right? They are allowed to do that. I just want to remind everybody of that. So the fact that they did their job and they stopped the defense, they did the same thing in the Dallas game. The defense did the same thing in the Tennessee Titan game here at home, right? Where the offense, not so much Trevor, but the offense had us in a bad spot. Y'all couldn't move the ball, and the defense did what the defense put us in position. Now, in the Tennessee game and the Dallas game, technically, the defense actually won those games. Trevor was actually on his way to losing that game for us because he fucking fumbled. He fumbled. Defense
Yeah.
said, defense said, hold my beer. I'll be right back.
Yes,
Went
sir.
out there, got the 3-and-out because Dallas decided they wanted to take a shot on third down. That was crazy.
Yes.
Saved us a timeout. Kicked the ball. Now Trevor did his job, got us down in the field goal range. We kicked the field goal. But you go right out there in overtime and you go 3-and-out. And all Dallas has to do is get in field goal range. And game's over.
Yeah.
Game's over. Jank with the walk-off pick six.
Woo!
Defense, come save the day. You feel me?
Yeah, night.
You feel me? But outside of those things, Trevor played excellent that game.
Yeah.
So again, like the defense, yes, the defense has to show up, but I think our point on what we were saying about Trevor earlier is that but when it's supposed to be on you, I need you to execute. I need you to do whatever it takes. Look, bro, I understand that you want the 30-yard bomb, the 40-yard bomb. I understand you want that, but the defenses give you a lane that you can run and pick up 12 yards. Go do that, bro. You feel me? Just make better in the moment decisions sometimes when they're giving it to you.
Yeah. You got to. I mean, take control. Like I said, just go back to take control, bro. It's your
Yeah.
offense. Like,
Yeah, and you're the franchise.
Yeah. Take control of it. Is just cater it, bro. Treat it like it's your child, bro. That ball, you don't want nothing to happen to your kid. Treat that ball just like that. You don't want nothing to happen to it.
Yeah. And look, he actually has that perspective now.
Yeah.
Being a new father. All right, bro. Let's hit on the last thing, bro. Last week we said at 5, Travis Hunter is there. You get him. You said, of course you get him because you're going defense. And I was like, yeah, but you also get him as a wide receiver weapon, technically, right? And then we kind of came to a crossroads where we were like, I was like, I don't know. I think he was a better wide receiver. He like, I thought he was a better corner. And we said we were going to revisit it. We were going to look at the numbers. So I don't know, bro. Let's look at the numbers. You tell me. As a receiver at Colorado last year, he had 96 receptions, 1,258 yards, 15 touchdowns, and he averaged 13.1 yards per reception.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty fire.
Yeah.
It's pretty fire. As a cornerback, though, he had 4 interceptions. He had 16 pass breakups. Mind you, now we also wanted for context, because that number doesn't seem that big.
Mm-hmm.
They did not throw the ball his way a lot.
Nope.
Opposing quarterbacks did not throw his way that often. I wish I had that number, like what percentage of passes went his way as a corner. But I know for a fact that it's not that high, right? But he had 16 pass breakups. He had 67 tackles, 48 solo, and 3 of them for a loss. He had 1 forced fumble, and he played 776 defensive snaps, and he was in coverage 428 of those snaps.
Mm-hmm.
So after hearing those numbers,
and it's crazy because they only have his Colorado stats. They don't have his Jackson State.
they don't have the Jackson State stuff.
Because he was going crazy at Jackson State too.
Right, but let's just say, for sake of argument, that playing at Colorado elevates the level of talent that he was playing against.
Yeah, I mean, in the big boy conferences,
yes.
But even then, it's still like because the best thing about a cornerback is if you're not targeted over here, I just took away a third of the field.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Let's say 16 pass defended, 4 interceptions. Let's say he only got targeted 50 times this year. I mean,
Let me see if I can find that. I'm gonna see if I can find that stat.
If he was targeted 50 times, if he was targeted 50, even 60 times this year, a third of those plays ended up with his hand touching the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a really good corner. But he's a really good receiver too.
Hold on, I'm looking it up real quick.
Yeah.
It says, oh shit. I don't know if this is true. It says, as a defensive back, Travis Hunter was targeted 38 times in 2024, allowing 22 receptions for 205 yards and 91 yards after the catch, with 4 interceptions, 7 pass breakups, and an opponent passer rating of 42%. Now, the pass breakups is different from the other stat I saw, where it said he had 16.
Yeah. Now, it's weird because some of these, like for the stats, it's weird because I'm like, it shows 67 tackles when the thing you show, but then when you go on the college football reference, it doesn't show him with 67 tackles.
How many tackles does it show him with?
It shows him with 36. 25 solo. 25 solo, 11 so 36. They had 66 for his 2 years.
Yeah. No. Okay, so the 60 whatever is all 3 from Jackson State and his 2 years at Colorado. I'm looking at his stats on ESPN right now.
Okay.
That's where they got that tackle number from.
Okay.
He had 1 forced fumble, 4 interceptions for 65 yards. So as a corner in 3 years, he's had 9 interceptions in 3 years in college. In 2024, he scored 16 touchdowns.
Yeah, because he had a rushing touchdown.
Jesus Christ. And that counts for I think his defensive, because he's got 1 defensive touchdown.
Oh shit! And I think and honestly,
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's just his.
Yeah.
It's his receiving and his 1 rushing touchdown.
And he threw a touchdown. Well, no. It was going to be a throw, but then the play is rushing touchdown because he came back. He came and got the ball on the end around, and was turned his, flipped his hips and was going to throw the ball, and then the shit broke down, and then he just broke out of there and just fucking ran for a touchdown. I said, bro, this boy is cold.
Oh, so then that must be the Russian touchdown.
Yeah, that's
Well, it says five. It says 5 yards.
He has two carries for 5 yards.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was like a goal line play.
yeah. I don't know, dog. I just think Travis Hunter on offense. Yeah, yeah. No, but I mean, listen, his stats are as a corner are pretty impressive though. Um, look, if he could stay healthy, that's my only fear. Now, talking to Kay about it, Kay is like, "Well, bro, you're worrying about something that's not a thing yet. Like it's not a
Yeah,
thing." But I think if T Mac didn't smoke him, like they both made smoking him implies that like T Mac just did whatever fuck he wanted to. He took T Mac out a lot out of that game. And he broke up some passes. But T Mac did some T Mac shit. One-handed catches, a
hmm
touchdown. But nah, no, I can't. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say. I can't give you that one, Robert. I can't, man. What do you say? He's not good against big receivers. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I would have to send me a link on some tape against him against big receivers. Or give me the numbers against him versus big receivers. I mean, like we just said, for the most part, he's shutting down a third of the field.
yeah,
So I just think that if that would be a tell on tape, right? And I think that
What up, Bug?
A few years ago, and Colorado taking all that out now. Here's the reverse trickery. Hunter steps up.
oh
Hunter
yeah, because where the
throws.
line of scrimmage
Touchdown,
was.
yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, what the fuck, man? It's like, bro, that shit should not. That shit,
What up, Bug?
it
A few
should
years
not
ago,
work.
and Colorado taking all that
And
out
the play
now.
was
Here's the
all of it.
reverse
Come here.
trickery.
Yeah. But that
Hunter
was a block in the
steps
back.
up. Hunter dives.
That was a block
Touchdown.
in the back though.
Like,
Unless you can't block in the back backfield. Maybe that's just a downfield. I don't know because I've never
yeah,
heard. I'm good on that. And Devin says defense full time and receiver on some third downs.
yeah,
But it's almost like this is how I feel about that because I hear a lot of people saying stuff like that, and I feel like then you're basically turning him into Jamal Agnew,
mm,
but Jamal Agnew back on defense. Right. I'm not saying like Jamal Agnew is as good as he is on defense, but what I'm saying is you're basically giving away most of what you could do when you do that. Like when Jamal Agnew came on the field, you knew that it was going to be some kind of sweep or, you know, and it wasn't every single time, but like 90% of the time there was some kind of when Jamal Agnew was on the field, you knew that there was some kind of play going to Jamal Agnew. And I just don't want I I don't want any tells like that.
yeah,
Now if you want to say utilize him, he's full-time defense but he plays, 25% of the snap on offense or something, then I think that's different because you can change it up, you know. But we've also said the one thing about it is that this offense is going to want guys that can block. And I will say I'm not sure that his body type fits, and I don't think Tet's body type fits this either.
yeah,
So to be out there blocking. Now Tet's a bigger body, but Travis is big too. I think Travis is like 6'2".
yeah.
Like Travis is big and lanky. You know what I'm saying? He's just got some little ass legs. Did it show the QBs he intercepted that won't get drafted? No. I don't know. No, but does it matter? You know what I'm saying? Like if if I don't know, dog. Like I don't think that matters. I think he did his job. The ball came his way. He had an opportunity and he took it. He was skilled enough to do so. I
Yeah,
mean, I've seen many of DBs get an opportunity to take the ball away uh and drop it
yeah.
on this very team, not to mention throughout the league. So I don't think it matters who the quarterback is really. Just if I think what matters is if the opportunity presents itself, do you take advantage of it? And from what it sounds like, Travis Hunter does. Says, oh my bad. We won't draft running backs with high miles. Who are you talking about? You talking about Genty?
John T.
Oh, we're getting running back. We're getting because I don't unless like somebody sees something in Keelan Robinson. Um, they're they let Dearness Johnson go in free agency, so they're bringing in more running back competition. I don't know what running back, but they're going to bring in somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But so are you? Because I want to squash this. So are you still saying corner?
I still don't know. Like I say, fuck, I still don't know, bro. Like I still don't know because at the end of the day, bro, I think he can play corner, but like I said, there's with the physicality, it's tough.
Hmm.
With the receiver stuff, the physicality is tough.
Yeah.
But everything else, he checks all the boxes everywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
I think right now it's just like I said, it's just the physicality thing. Like if he was, uh, uh, I mean, he's a really willing tackler too. Like he's not a bad tackler.
Right.
I don't know, man. I think you just see. I mean, I think you get your most. I think what I think you get the most value out of him at is playing corner and then having snaps on offense.
Okay.
He may be a better receiver because it's like I said, you can quantify receiver with the touchdowns and the yard. You know what I'm saying? And the catches.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And you're not going to get nowhere near as much opportunity. But like I said, but with the opportunity that he had, 38 targets, only 22 catches, and like I said, the 16 pass deflections, so that counts the 4 or pass defended. So that counts the 4 interceptions is in that 16.
Right.
Like, they stay away. Stay away.
Yeah. I mean, if you really think about it, we just said he shut down a third of the field and a third of his targets he defended.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a lot of targets. Like
It's border
38 targets is not a lot.
the third. It was like 40%. It was almost half.
Well, no, if he had 38 and he had 16,
I know.
16, well, hold
16
on.
and 16 is 32.
It's 32. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm
so
tripping.
it's like I said, it's kind of close. It's closer. It's like 40%,
Yeah.
closer to half.
Yeah.
Like he,
Yeah.
it makes your team a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what type of funky ass math I was just doing. Damn. So yeah, I think you have a valid point. You have a valid point there. And the best part of your point was the fact that, like you said, you could quantify the offense stuff, but there's nuance to the defense, which
Yeah,
we kind of clarified some of that. And in doing so, I think you're right, but I do still think that um that receivers in it. the receivers in the NFL are more physical, right? And I just think again, now he can always bulk up, right? He can do some stuff with his legs. It's not like he's got like twigs for legs, but like his muscle density in his legs isn't that prominent to us. His legs could be strong as a motherfucker for all we know. But I'm just saying from the look of them, like they look kind of small. But I've seen small frame receivers a la Devontae Smith, right? Go out there and be successful, even though people have had concerns about
his frame,
his frame and size,
his lack of stature.
Yes. Big Marcus says the kid loves ball. I think Robert just don't like Travis, bro.
Yeah.
Robert, do you dislike Travis Hunter?
Yeah, because that's not why he didn't play the Senior Bowl.
He had 14. Yeah, he had 14 total on offense and defense. Those are total snaps, bro. Crazy. That's a lot of football. But you know what? This has been a lot of podcasts because we have went over, my friend.
Yeah.
It's the beanie. The beanie did it.
I'm telling you. It gets the people going.
It gets the people going, dog. I just want to mention Cam real quick.
I appreciate
it. hey, going out of Jaguar, Cam said, you know what? I know how I can help out the Jags.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to make their left tackle position even worse. Yeah.
Pull a Jawan Taylor, man.
I am not protecting CJ Stroud's blind side. Yeah. Let's go. Duval. Let's go.
In my team's the Army, the Navy, the greatest is Jimmy and Keenan, the ultimate package. Ooh, you are now in the mix with the men and Teal.
Yes, sir. And with that said, that is your host, the cannabis analyst, Agent J, and you are rocking with your boy J to the I to the M-B-O, and we are out of here.